Hi, boys and girls. I was just hopping on here to show you what you need to do for your new learning at home that you are starting tomorrow. And it looks like this. I showed you it in class today. So I wanted to go over each one so you know exactly what to do while you're at home doing your at-home learning. All right, so here we go. The first one says your fluency folder. Now, every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, you're going to use this new fluency folder that went home today. Okay. And this says keep at home. So make sure you always keep this at home. Don't bring this folder back. Okay. So the first thing your organizer tells you to do is practice reading your fry words. All right. So your fry words are the pink pages in your folder. There's a little note here for mom and dad or grandma and grandpa to tell them how to use these pages. And we went over it today in class, but I'm going to remind you. So there are 1,000 words here. 1,000 words, that's a lot of words. But we want you to learn at least 1 to 200 words by the end of first grade, okay? Now, if you already know 1 to 200 words, then you're going to start on a list that's farther down in the pack, okay? So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start on list number 1, and you're going to sit by somebody to read these words to them, okay? So you're going to sit down, you're going to start reading the words. The, of, and, to, and every one that you get right, have somebody put a little check mark next to it, okay? A little check so that you know, oh, I got it right. So I'm going to give it a check. I got that right. Do that to all the words you can read. Now, if there are words you don't know how to read, just leave it blank. Don't put anything next to it because those are the words you'll know that you have to practice extra hard, okay? Now, let's say you got all of the words right on list 1. Then you would go to list 2. And then you would do list 2. If you get all the words right on list 2, you go to list 3. If you get all the words right on list 3, you go to list 4, and you keep doing that. Now, if you missed a lot of words on list number 1, then I would stick with that list until you know almost all of them. So practice these words every day. Have somebody point to them, and you're reading them. And once you can read all of them, move on to list 2. Now, if you can read all of them, but like 2 or 3, you can still go to list 2. Just make sure you come back to those words to practice them until you can get them. Okay? So these are all words that will help you become a better reader. If you know all these words, you will be an awesome reader. Okay? So please practice. These are so important to learn. All right, so that's the first thing you're going to do every day is you're going to practice these words. The second thing you're going to do every day is you're going to practice fry phrases. Those are the white pages that are in your folder. Now, there's also a letter for somebody at home so they know how to do these, okay? So all these fry words, all these phrases are words from the pink lists, okay? They just put them in short little phrases. They're not sentences. Some of them are, but some of them are just words put together. So what you do is you flip over the first page and you start reading each card, okay? Number 2, go down, more people, all or some. Look up, did you like it? Now, if you can read it, you can put a check next to it, okay? Or a check or a star in the box. So I know I can read those words. Now, if we can read one of the words and not the other, let's say I couldn't read the word number, but I could read the word 2. So I'm just going to circle that word because I couldn't read it. This one I'll just keep it like that because I could, okay? If I can read all these words on this page, then I go to the next page. And then I read these words. See the water. Keep going, keep going. Wherever it starts to get too hard for you and you can't read the words, that's the page where you need to keep practicing and practicing and practicing until you can read all the words. Once you get through all the words on the page, then flip it over and go to the next page, okay? So there are lots of fry phrases for you to practice. And all these words, again, will help you be a better reader. Practice makes progress. If you don't practice, you're not going to make progress, okay? All right, the third thing you do from this folder are the fluency pages. Those are the green pages in the middle, okay? These are little short stories or poems. Some are poems, some are stories that you are going to practice reading to somebody at home. You can practice reading it by yourself, and then later when an adult is ready, then you can read it to them, okay? So you're going to read this story. It's called Gus the Dog. Gus is a dog. Gus can run. He can jump. Gus likes to dig. He digs in the dirt. You're going to keep reading that whole thing. If you can read all of these words, then you did really good. But if you can read all of these words and you're really slow, you're going to want to keep practicing. So if you have a mom or a dad or a grandma or a grandpa or a brother or sister that can time you, maybe they have a timer on their phone, or maybe you have a little timer, a sand timer, or a little stopwatch. If you read this whole thing and it took you like 2 or 3 minutes, then you're going to want to keep practicing. So down here, let's say it took me 2 minutes and 30 seconds the first time. Then the next day I read it again. Oh, it only took me 2 minutes that time. I'm getting faster. And then the next day I read it again. It only took me 1 minute and 30 seconds. Or maybe you can even get down to 1 minute. If you get to between 1 and 2 minutes at the most, then you're ready to move on to the next story. Okay? But remember, you should be reading how you talk. So I should read, Gus is a dog. Gus can run. I should not read like this. Gus is a dog. Gus can run. That's not how we should read. You have to read how you talk, and that's smoothly and quickly, okay? So every day you're going to practice. When you get done and you get really good with this one, move on to the next one. And when you get really good with this one, move on to the next one and keep going until you get through all of the stories, okay? The final thing you're going to do in this folder every day is you're going to go to the back and get out the blue pages. These are comprehension pages. These test your comprehension to see if you remember the story. So you're going to read the story to someone at home. You can practice it on your own first, and then you can read it to someone. Now, good readers always read the questions first. So that way, when you're reading the story, if you find an answer to one of the questions, you can circle it or underline it so you know you can go back and look for that answer. Okay? So you have 5 questions that you're going to answer after you read this story. So read the story and then answer the questions. Now you're going to do 1 a day. So we're going to do 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Thursday, and 1 on Friday. Now, if I want to bring this back to show Mrs. Vandermolen, that's fine. But don't bring back a page unless you've done both sides, okay? So if you have both of these sides done, you can rip it off and put it in your green homework folder if you want to bring it back for me to look at. If you don't want to, that's okay. If you just want someone at home to look over it to see if you got it right, you can do that too. So those are the 4 things you should do every day from your fluency folder, okay? That is the first thing on our organizer. That whole thing I just went over is the fluency folder. Once you get done with those 4 things, move to your homework folder. Now here it says math pages will be in your homework folder each week. So if I open up the homework folder, today you got some math pages that look like this. This is review. You already learned how to do this in class this week. You guys learned how to read picture graphs. So you're going to read picture graphs and answer the questions. You can do this one on Wednesday. On Thursday, I'm going to flip over to the next page. Again, learning about picture graphs. You're going to make your own picture graph now. And then this is what I'm going to do Thursday. And then Friday, is the last page. Again, making picture graphs. You're going to make one and answer some questions. And then when you're done with those 3 pages, you can stick that back in your green folder. And you can bring it back to school and I can look at it to see how you did. Okay? Now, also in your green folder, you might have some work for science and social studies. Right here, science and social studies. So in your green folder, you have one page for science and one page for social studies. And you'll click on this little link and you'll listen to the story. And then after you listen to the story, you'll answer those questions. You'll take a picture of it like you always have and send it to me. So these 2 things are the same as before. You listen to the stories, you do your activity, and then you send me your work. Okay? And you could do one on Wednesday and you can do one on Thursday, or you can do one on Thursday and one on Friday, or you can do them both on the same day. It's up to you. Okay? But they have to be, you have until Friday, or if you didn't get to it, you could always do it on Saturday or Sunday. After you get done, you're going to keep following the arrows. Here's the next thing. This is our classroom library. Each day, you're going to listen to one story. Okay? So you're going to click on the little link, and then you're going to listen to any story. After you listen to the story, you are going to get a piece of paper and a pencil. And you're going to write either about your favorite part, or you can tell me what happened in the beginning, middle, and end of the story. All right? And then you're going to take a picture of your work, and then you're going to save it as a draft. Say that with me. Save it as a draft. Okay? And then on Thursday, you're going to pick a new story. And then you're going to listen to the story, and then you're going to get out your paper and you're going to write in your paper on your paper, my favorite part was, and tell me what your favorite part was. And then you're going to take a picture, and then you're going to save it as a draft. Say it with me. Save it as a draft. And then on Friday, the last day of at-home learning, you're going to listen to one more story. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to get a piece of paper. Today, I'm going to write about the beginning, middle, and end. In the beginning, this happened. In the middle, this happened. And in the end, this happened. Now, because today is Friday and it's your last day of at-home learning, you're going to click the green check. Say it with me. Click the green check on Fridays. Okay? And then you're going to send it to me. Now, after you listen to your story and you do your writing, if you have time, you can always go to Freckle. Here's the link right here. You can practice math and reading. Or if you want, you can do your art, music, and PE. Make sure you're doing these activities, okay? Because Mr. Blackmere and Miss Postler and Mrs. Van Drunen want you guys to do their work too, because they want to see your artwork and listen to you sing and want to see you do some PE, okay? And I showed you today how to find your specials up in the corner of your seesaw where your name is. You click on that letter that your name starts with, and all your specials are right under there, okay? So this is your new at-home learning from now on. No more workbook pages from our math book, or no more workbook pages from our reading book. And your parents have a note in your fluency folder so they know how to do each activity that I just went through. All right? So if you ever have any questions, you can always message me on Dojo, have your parents message me on Dojo with anything that they have questions about. All right? And on Wednesdays, I usually always have some office hours if they would like to meet me. All right, boys and girls, I can't wait to see you next week, Monday. Have a great day, and make sure you get your at-home learning done. Bye, guys.